and welcome back to Business. I am your host, Sarah Annis, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Shia first and foremost.
First.
No, you can't ditch us last week, Mike Kassab, and then
can we talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Can we talk about our no-show?
I apologize. I
just want to know, what happened? So, for anyone who didn't tune in last week, I ripped mine to shreds.
It's not out yet. Last week's episode. Well, it's out now.
Oh, you're right.
Once they hear this one, it's out.
Yeah, by the time you're listening to this one,
I love that.
You will have hopefully heard our last one.
Thumbtack.
Exactly. He's been wearing it on his bicep too. It's really cute. But you were not at our last episode because you were at a World Cup game. Yes?
I was at France, Morocco, which oddly enough, it's like the same team. Because the French players are African and the Moroccan players are French, and
What language did they speak while playing?
So Morocco is an Arabic country, right? A lot of them will disagree with that, but it's an Arabic speaking country, but their chants are all Viva Maghreb. Maghreb is Morocco in Arabic, but Viva is long live in Spanish. So I'm just so confused. But 12 million people in France are of Moroccan descent.
I guess, Michael, I know you're sitting on the field during the game. What language do they speak?
Oh, no, I'm not on the field. But I believe the players speak either Spanish or French.
Really?
Maybe both.
There are seats closer than being on the field?
No. This is a little bit harder. We're talking about barrier to entry earlier. You and I don't have the connections that we need to get down there.
So where were you? You were still good, you were in a good seat.
Yeah. We had a goal view. So the goal is right in front of us, about 20 rows up. It's very nice.
So Mike has a general rule, Sarah. He says that, this is his rule. There's a few different rules that he taught me since I met him. Number one, if you're at a basketball game, your feet need to be touching wood. Number two, if you're going to any other game, it's not basketball, you only go down steps, you don't go up.
Yeah.
And number three was, when you're on a commercial airplane, Mike only turns left.
I'm confused. Oh, if you're flying international and you get on one of the big planes,
that's what he taught me. And those,
Yeah.
I've tried to live by his rules. I can't. I haven't met those standards yet. But really, those three are really valuable lessons that he taught me.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's why you hang out with Mike. Because if you're hanging out with Mike, you're going to be in one of those three situations.
Well, the one time I trusted Shia with travel, we got into a helicopter in Israel and we struck a bird. And for the first time in my life, I thought I was going to die. Actually, I saw the fear in Shia's eyes, and I couldn't even see his eyes, but I could tell from the way he tightened up, he was terrified. So.
Wait, I'm surprised this is the first time hearing of this. You hit a bird in the helicopter?
We destroyed a bird. He went right into the engine.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Why are you worrying about the bird, Sarah? How about us?
Well, you guys were fine.
We were not fine. We both clearly have PTSD. Look at us.
How big was this bird?
Big enough to cause some shaking.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did the pilot say? Did he say anything after? Did that
didn't
happen to him before?
He left at us.
He didn't even flinch. Literally.
Oh, okay. So this is a common occurrence in helicopters, I assume.
This guy didn't even flinch. He was like, oh, bird.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Now I'm really curious though. I would love to talk to some helicopter pilots and hear how common this really is that they're hitting birds or other flying.
Right. Anyone who operates helicopters, please put a comment below. We we'd
love to hear from you. We'd love to have you on the next podcast so we can talk about it.
And Mike, we had to bring in a guest host when you were napping during our podcast last week.
Okay, how'd that go?
Shout out Lori.
Okay, shout out Lori. She
stepped in a pinch.
Yeah, picked up my slack. I really need to meet Lori.
Yeah, she stepped in with 2 minutes notice, maybe less. I don't know. It was hey, Lori, can you jump on this right now? And there
She
she
says,
was.
well, why do you
So
want meat? We said, well, Mike decided to go back to sleep.
It was a little bit more complicated.
I need to know before we get past this, and we do have to jump into our topics for today, but how many vodka cranberries threw you into a hibernation so deep that you missed the podcast?
Over under 7.
Oh,
that was the bet tonight.
No, way more than 7. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. It was quite the night.
Wow. Good for you.
Yes, there were other questions. There were other questions about what happened that night, but I don't know if you said something about having things on the internet, so we just wanted to know. Was there anything else you can tell us about that night that you remember?
No. I was with my dad. The poor guy tried waking me up, but our flight was at 5. He thought we had to leave by 5. So he came and woke me up at 5, like, come on, let's go. And I'm like, what time is it? He's like 5. I'm like, that plane is gone, Dad.
Wave above you, it's taking off.
No point in waking up now. I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah. So I said, Dad, just go get some rest. And he felt terrible, but it's my fault because we left at 5 from Detroit to get to Boston. So he just assumed it was the same time to get back.
Oh,
that is funny.
Shout out to Father Kassab.
It was good. Dad really wanted to go. He wanted to watch Morocco. He loves the players on that team. He likes like watching English Premier League and La Liga. So he knows all these players by name, and he's a 70-year-old man, and he's telling me, oh, that's this guy, and he does this, and he just won the championship over there, and I'm like, wow, like I don't know anything about this. So it's nice to see passion from Dad.
Dad likes watching the French players play for Morocco.
The Moroccan player, the French players play for Morocco, correct?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What is Dad's drink of choice? Was he going 1 for 1 on the vodka cranberries?
No, so Dad has been barred from drinking. We had a scare a few months ago on his birthday where he like passed out.
Aww.
We thought we had lost him. He had half a drink.
Oh my gosh.
Half a drink, but when they took his blood at the hospital, they came back and said, wow, he must have had a long day of drinking. His blood alcohol content's like 1.2. And I'm like,
wow.
no, Dad had half a drink. And turns out the way his body absorbs liquor, it absorbs all of it. So it didn't even get to, go to his liver. It just went right into his bloodstream. And
wow.
Yeah, it was really bad. So I stopped.
So basically you didn't get any genes from your dad's side of the family.
Yeah, neither of my parents drink. Yeah, I don't
so
know
you're
where this
drinking
came
enough
from.
for the both of them.
Yeah. And making up for their lost time.
Yes, good. Well, I'm happy your dad's okay. My goodness.
Yeah, thank God.
Thank God. All right, guys, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
We can give Mike a hard time again later because I'm always up for that.
It's never ending. Are you kidding? Until one of us sleeps in, Mike is gonna go through it.
Oh my God. I might sleep in when my daughter's 18, but even then, I don't know. No more sleeping in for this girl. All right. So first topic for today, Ro Khanna and his hostage meeting controversy. So Congressman Ro Khanna is facing criticism after a report claimed he declined opportunities to meet with former Israeli hostages and survivors of the October 7th Hamas attacks during his recent trip connected to Israel and the West Bank. So Khanna has been outspoken about Israel and Gaza, but this controversy raises concerns over whether some American politicians are willing to talk about the conflict without fully hearing from the Israeli victims and families that are still living with the trauma from October 7th. So the story opens up a much bigger conversation about leadership and moral responsibilities, as well as why meeting with hostages, survivors, and families should matter when elected officials speak publicly about Israel. And I know this is something that you have both done on your visits to Israel, is meet with hostages and hear their stories and all of that. So I'm really excited to hear your take on this particular topic. Mike, you want to start us off?
Yeah. Well, let's start with the position of Ro Khanna as a leader of people. A lot. You can't just support the people that supported you, right? So you're in a position of leadership. You're supposed to support them all, whether that means walking into an uncomfortable room or not. Um, so I don't like that. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, right? But these hostages went through something that none of us could imagine, right? Whether you agree with what happened, with how it happened, with who was involved, um, the reality is that these hostages were treating poorly. Like the men and women that were taken in have all come out and talked about how they were raped and tortured and beaten. And I think for the exception of um um the ones that were killed and on October 7th and not taken hostage, I think they would have much rather just have died then instead of deal with what they were dealing with. Um you can care about the Palestinians, um, but still meet with the Israeli hostage families. You don't need to agree with what the policies or the government of Israel believes in, but like at some point you need to be human, and you got into politics because you wanted to take care of humans, not to pick and choose which ones you want to take care of. So it seems like a blanket statement, but I just think when you're given a position of power, it's very important not to take advantage of that. And hurting one person, um, it's similar to the quote, and Shia, maybe you'll remember it. The judge that said, "I would rather let off an innocent."
A bunch of guilty people instead of putting one innocent man in prison or
Yeah,
something like
something.
that.
So yeah, something similar to that. So, but translate it into how you treat your constituents. Um, I wasn't prepared with like a quote for that one, but that's kind of how I see it. You shouldn't treat people like that, just because you disagree with the government.
I think it's a step deeper than that, right? I think it's any situation, right? Let's start from the beginning. No matter what the situation is, whether it's personal, professional, business, legal, whatever the situation, I think you can't or shouldn't form it. You can do whatever you want, but you shouldn't form an opinion until you hear two sides of a story and both sides. Like I'm saying, no matter what, Lou, wise old Lou always says, right? The thinnest pancake has two sides. And it's a lesson that really I've applied to everything in my life. I never form an opinion until I hear the other side of the story, no matter how clear, no matter how definitive, no matter how black and white a situation seems. I think, you know, the Ro Khanna specifically, it's like, okay, today it's popular, particularly in his district, to be anti-Jewish and anti-Israel. And therefore, he's not willing to hear the other side because he's terrified of his own shadow. And tomorrow, that won't be the position, and I'm sure he'll go back the other way. And I think that comes down to a lot of what we always talk about, where by educating the people who are supporting these politics, the politicians are going to blow in the wind. Many of them, they're going to go whichever direction the wind blows, so they get reelected. That's all they care about, right? I think we all agree with that, right? Most politicians, very few have principles,
Yeah.
and I think in order for us to want them to have principles or force them to have principles, we need to get educated, and people need to get educated about the topic so they can lobby for things that make sense, right? So, Ro Khanna, do I expect any more from him? No, he's blowing in the direction of whichever way the wind blows. That's where he's going. I think it's pathetic that he didn't, hear both sides of the story. I think anyone in any position of power, and those who are not in the position of power, should always hear both sides of the story before forming an opinion, even if their opinion is different than mine. At least get educated. He clearly isn't. And I'll tell you, having firsthand experience like Mike, when you sit across from those hostages and you hear their stories, I don't care who you are, your perspective changes very fast. And that doesn't mean you have to agree with every government policy. Doesn't mean you have to agree. It has nothing to do with it. But the bottom line is, I promise you, your perspective will change, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
For
And
sure.
and just additionally, I think even if you go to the other side of this, right, and you talk to someone in Israeli politics about the lives of people who were lost in Gaza, if you can't respect that life is lost, then I don't want to speak for Shia, but I assume that he agrees with me here. If you can only see one side of it, it doesn't make you a good person. You've got to be able to see both sides and understand that this pain and suffering
I
and
agree
loss,
100%.
yeah,
I agree 100%. You're 100% right. It doesn't, that's the thing. This is not a side issue. This is a get educated issue. Hear both sides, form an opinion. You can say, I think Hamas is the cause of the problem, right? That doesn't mean you also don't feel bad for the fact that Hamas is causing these innocent Palestinian children to be killed, right? You hide in a hospital. Now you could say, okay, Israel shouldn't attack that. That's a whole separate conversation. But the bottom line is the kid died. Now, why the kid died? Okay, That's a function of, people can debate that all day long, right? But the bottom line is, no one wants a kid dead. Sitting across from a girl who vividly described in detail how she was raped by all of these guys while being held hostage. And she gives very graphic detail. Or seeing, Shani Luke's body taken on a pickup truck, a German girl, right, with her leg twisted and her dead body being raped by these guys on camera. This was this they didn't hide it. Like, at least have the decency to hear the other side of the story. I just, for me, it's a function of, you shouldn't be in a position of leadership if you're not listening to two sides of the coin. Both sides.
Yeah.
I'm not picking, I'm saying both sides.
Yeah. Both sides and the truth. So all three sides.
Form your own opinion to develop the truth. Form your own opinion to develop the truth, but don't form an opinion until you're on the other side. Like, there are a lot of things that are debatable, a lot of things you can, cause and effect, and how many thousands of years you want to go back in a conflict that's gone on forever. Most people literally know nothing about, but are so passionate about. But put all that aside. Get the facts.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed both of your takes today.
Well,
Mike,
as opposed to what?
Well, some days not so much. Today,
can you tell us when you don't like our takes?
No. But if I like
Mike,
them,
I feel like we should start asking.
Let it be known.
Mike, now when we're done,
No.
This
isn't about whether I got to put it out there. I thought they were both
I think having been there with Mike together, I think both of us on this issue, when you're there and you see and then you hear different perspective, Arab, Druze, Muslim, Jewish, right wing, left wing. Like, we met with such a diverse lineup of people, and it's kind of surprising that vast majority think that Hamas is terrible. Right? Vast majority. I'm not saying no one. Vast majority. We're like, and I'm talking Muslims, Druze, like people, not the Jews. That one's going to be obvious, right? But the vast majority of them agree on things. Yet people here are so passionate about, like, the wrong side of it. And it's just, get educated, thin as pancake. Hear both sides of the story before you form it.
Yeah. Get out of your echo chambers. It's a lot more clear when you get out. There's a reason they're called echo chambers. You can't even make out what's being said. These people have these opinions and they don't even know why. How many arguments or how much dialogue have you had with people who feel the opposite of you? But then, like, after the three hot topics, right? After 3 bullet points, like, there's nothing left. You're a tip of the iceberg.
I told you about my guy who defined occupation for me as surrounding a country on all sides, and then I showed him the map.
Yeah.
How do you argue with that? How do you argue?
Well, your map was wrong, clearly. So
yes. Israel controls Google. That's what he said.
Yeah, your map of the world was incorrect, Shia.
Yeah.
I will, though, say, playing devil's advocate, like, when people go on social media, your algorithm is always feeding you, like, what you already like to hear. So it is challenging. Like, you have to seek out the other side. And I'm very much, I feel the same way you both do about Ro Khanna and this issue, but just in general, it can be hard to exit your specific echo chamber and hear the other side when social media is constantly pushing to you what you clearly are engaging with and liking and wanting to hear more of.
For sure. That's why we have this podcast.
I know. So just listen to us. No more social media.
Exactly. We need social media.
Pull out your phone, delete TikTok.
Actually, you know what?
Instagram.
Sarah,
yeah.
Can we get requests for topics from the viewers? So pick one topic each week, or the listeners.
Yes,
where we
I would love
select the
that.
listener's topic.
That'd be cool.
It could get a little scary, but yeah, I would love that.
Seriously, can we do that?
Yeah, listeners. Lori and Ed, I'm talking to you.
How do they submit it?
You can comment on our TikTok. You can send us an email. We'll put our email in the show note captions, and we will go through the topics and hand select each week.
Awesome.
All right, guys, on to the next topic. We are switching gears here to something right up Mike's alley, which is sports. The Seattle Seahawks are being sold in a record NFL deal worth about $9.6 billion with a B, to a group led by billionaire, I'm going to butcher this, Vinod Khosla and his family. One reason the story is getting so much attention is because Khosla was already a minority owner of the San Francisco 49ers, one of the Seahawks' biggest division rivals, and now he has given up the stake that stake in that team in order to buy Seattle. So this is not just another team sale. It's also a story about rivalry, conflict of interest, and how exclusive NFL ownership really is. So, Shia, I feel like I want to punt this one to you first.
Yes,
Even
thank
though
you,
Mike's
because
the
there's
sports
something I need to
lover.
share. I've been itching to share this with everyone.
Ooh,
What
okay.
most people here do not know is that Michael here is the part owner of an NFL team.
Wait, what?
Exactly. Exactly. The legend himself is
Wait,
a
can I
part
guess which one?
yes, Michael.
Wait, is he looking it up right now? He has so many different holdings in different places. He's like, wait, which team?
He can't keep track of all the teams he owns stakes in. But Michael,
I don't think we own a team yet. I think we've been given approval to own a minority stake in a team. But
is we the three people on this podcast?
Yeah. Who is the we, Michael? So the same man, hey, this is my answer. Give me a minute here. The same man who taught us we only turn left on airplanes. Our feet only touch the wood.
Do you remember the other
What was
one?
the third one? No, what was the third one?
If you're not in a basketball game, what was it? You have to get closest to the field.
Oh, we only go down the steps if it's not basketball.
Yes.
We only go down. We don't go up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The man who brought us that has also brought us the fact that every time a football team goes up in value, guess who's cashing a check? Or at least increasing in value? That man right there.
Yeah.
This guy.
It's honestly, at this point, it's just an honor and a privilege to know him.
The way you hype that up, this is like that "shut up and take my money" meme, because it's not.
I don't know what you're referring to.
You haven't seen the "shut up and take my money" meme? It's like, wow, you just
no.
You say
Sarah,
no
do you
more.
know what he's talking about?
No.
I'll have to find it. It's just like a cartoon. He's holding a lot of cash.
Is that like a young person thing?
It was
Probably.
I watched
Because you're not that
cartoons.
young anymore.
I watched cartoons for a little bit longer than I should have.
Well, yeah.
No,
So back to the valuation thing. It's unbelievable. The bottom line is that I think sports is like one of the last few frontiers where like talent wins out, and you can, I don't know, now maybe it's getting a little dicey with sports betting and the players, you keep having these scandals, but I think in general, for me, it's like real competition where, the best man in this case wins. And it's almost refreshing where it's like unfiltered. There's no bias. You hope, right? I'm always scared that like one of these scandals is going to hit the news again, which will really cause people to start feeling about sports like they do about everything else, right? But for now, like you look at like the vast majority of cable TV is people paying just for live sports. And live sports is one of the last things that people still trust. And I think it's amazing that the valuations are going up like they are. And I'm happy for all of us that, Mike's going to be able to be our sponsor for years to come.
Wait, hold on, Shia. If it hasn't gone through yet, I feel like we can't talk about it. We don't want to like jinx anything,
No, he's already the owner. Just ignore him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can get like a free hot dog if I pay for it.
Wait, can I guess the team? Can you give me like a section of the U.S.?
Actually, there's two. I believe there's a third one.
You own two teams?
The fund is involved in three teams. They have minority ownership in three teams, but I'll just two opposite ends of the nation. So,
okay, the Rams.
No, which is very close.
Oh, the 49ers?
No, you got far
away. If the
away.
Rams were close, I'm going to guess the Chargers.
Chargers is one.
Okay. What's the other? Opposite ends of the nation?
Yeah.
Is it football?
Yeah.
It is football.
Okay.
Opposite
Panthers.
No.
What's the furthest?
It is.
How about the New York Giants?
No, but this team is closer to Detroit than it is to New York City. But the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
Yeah. They own a good chunk of these teams too. It's like an 8%, a 10% minority stake in them, which Which when I used to hear minority stake in an NFL team, I would think, oh, like this guy owns 1%. 10% is a lot, but also there's
Hold on, you own 10% if the team's worth $9.5 billion, just so I'm clear?
yeah. So I'm not quite a billionaire yet.
Okay.
Close.
I'm sure there's thousands of investors.
Okay, but you're the largest one?
Not even close. Aren't you involved in this?
Me? Oh, what you're talking about.
I'm gonna
You
I'm gonna
guys
have to
are, I'm getting
take a
some weird.
look.
I'm going to have to research this later.
Long story short, we are lucky enough, Sarah, to be in the presence of an NFL owner.
Yes, we are, Sarah.
Amazing.
And we just found out that a team sold for $9.6 billion, so we should probably keep him around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with having me around. Just keep me sober.
I was going to say, once every other week, we'll have him actually join the podcast when he's awake.
No more naps during podcast time.
Like one out of the last 2 weeks is not
I wish
bad.
our viewers could see our text of us trying to schedule these podcasts and how I always get the shortest stick of schedule preferability.
Hold on. That's so unfair because anything before
preference.
11 you won't do. Anything before 11 a.m., no mic. Anything after 5 p.m., no mic.
It's hard.
So you limit us to a 6-hour window 2 days a week.
Well, Mr. Friday and Saturday over here.
I thought you do Shabbat. Didn't you try it?
Yeah, but the sun is going down at 9 p.m. We've got plenty of time. Plenty of time on Friday.
Afternoon, I think Friday we blame Sarah. That's a Sarah issue.
Yeah, we got to work on the feeding schedules.
Late Friday afternoon pod, Sarah, you're good with that?
Well, define good with that, Could I make it work? Probably. Do I want to? I don't know. Give me 0.5% of the bills and we'll talk. How about that?
He could spare a bunch. He owns 9%.
Yeah, 0.5% is nothing.
All right. Done.
All right. Moving on. More topics. And I know Shia, Mr. Busy Man over there, has other things to get to today.
I got to get to the airport.
As do you, Mike. You're clearly a busy guy too. Me, I got nothing the rest of the afternoon. I could be here all day.
No, I got nothing to do.
My schedule is
I'm
weird.
taking Shia to the airport.
I wish.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
It would. I don't get to see Mike anymore. Ever since he became a hotshot, he forgets his little friend.
I think you're both just like passing ships. Like you're both so busy.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Every time.
No.
It's not true. Every time he has a fundraiser, I get a phone call.
How often is Mike having fundraisers? I haven't heard of it.
Mike has a lot of friends. Mike has a lot of friends. A lot of friends. And he goes to coffee to raise money for one guy and comes out, we're raising money for another guy.
Yeah, that was
the
crazy.
only person in the whole world. True story, Sarah.
Yeah.
He's meeting one guy to put some politician and he comes out with another one. How's that possible?
I'm
not surprised at all. Not at all.
It's just like it.
That tracks.
Yeah, it tracks. I think I'm just one big refrigerator.
Explain.
And just magnets just sticking on
the magnet. I was thinking the inside the fridge. I didn't get the magnet. Okay.
Because I could have said I'm a magnet, but then what if you meet a magnet with the same pole? Then you're just reflecting.
And somehow you'd still come out with him, and somehow we'd still be donating money.
Yeah, you could be repelling as hard as you want, and it would still come out the same way.
Yeah, right.
All right. Next topic, Sudan civil war. So Sudan is facing one of the world's worst humanitarian crises as a civil war continues between the Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Forces, known as the RSF. So the RSF is a powerful paramilitary group that has taken over cities that has been accused of serious atrocities against civilians. Now, Sudan's army says any U.S.-backed peace plan must require the RSF to fully withdraw from the cities it controls. But this story is also about who gets to shape Sudan's future. So the U.S. proposal reportedly calls for a civilian-led transition that will keep out both violent militia groups and the Sudanese Muslim Brotherhood, also known as Sudan's Islamic Movement, which the U.S. designated as a terrorist organization this year. Mike? I'm gonna punt this one to you.
Yeah, this is the first I've heard of this. So I haven't really been paying much attention to like African, geopolitics. But I feel like Sudan has been on the shit end of conflict for quite a while. I think there was civil war before that separated the country into two. Um, and it just seems like it's getting worse and worse. This is just crazy. I feel like why wouldn't you want American backed control in the country, why I don't understand this whole tribal like militia based um thought process of how a country should be ran. I mean, if look at Afghanistan, we fought the Taliban for so long, for 20 years, and just for them to go right back into power, so
Right.
and you see how everything that we worked so hard to build got unwound so quickly. So it's hard for me to see a world where Sudan and other African countries that are dealing with the same thing, other countries that are dealing with civil war or civil unrest, there's no path forward this way. It's proven that democracy is the way. Um, you don't need to be like an international player. You just need to stop trying to kill all your people and force people to think the way that you think. Like why can't we just why can't we just get along?
Mike, I'm gonna
Well
throw something
said,
else at
Mike.
you. Why do you think no one's talking about this?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I've been hearing about lately, that I have to dig for. I think because it's not sexy for the news. I'm not
Why?
why people here don't care. We've been
But people here care about. You hear about the so many causes,
right.
one in particular, and why specifically this one with was it 100 times the amount of death at this point? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's happening every day, and you don't crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets. If I go right now to any main news media, any website, why is it not there?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what I think. I mean, one,
Yeah.
there's Muslims involved. I think that they don't want to offend a certain group. Two, they're black.
Who doesn't? Do you think they don't want to offend Muslims?
I think they don't want to offend Muslims. Two, they're black. I think that the media here doesn't want to offend black people.
Wait, they don't. Why? But if it's just facts, why is it offensive?
Yeah, great question. I mean, this is just news, but we don't live in a world where the news just reports the facts of
Right.
or
There's always
what's
some
happened.
bias.
Yeah, where's the spin? This is something they can't spin. We can't, there's no benefit
Well,
to.
how do you think they would spin it if they could? You mean they wouldn't want to acknowledge that it was Muslims?
Yeah, probably. That's what I would assume, that they don't want to acknowledge that it's Muslims doing this, because then it'll bring down the other stories that they spent so long building,
Which were?
of vilifying Jewish people and Israelis in general, or sticking to the Arabian conflict, where Africa has never been the subject of news, besides the Nigerians killing Christians. That was news for like 2 days, right? And then Trump ordered strikes, and then that was the end of it. You never even heard what came from that. You don't know if it stopped, if it's still going on. You don't. I can't think ever hearing about news in Africa. As much as I hear about things in the Middle East, there's always something about the Middle East. There's always something
Which is
about
crazy
Ukraine,
because
Russia.
the numbers aren't even close.
Yeah,
It's like, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. There's a narrative that's being pushed, and this counters all of that. And therefore, you'll never hear about it. Because Mike's
Until you listen to our
100%
podcast.
What was that?
I said until you listen to our podcast.
For sure. Well, Mike's dead right on this. Mike's dead right on
Yeah.
this. This tells the opposite story of what we've been being told for the last 2 or 3 years. And no one wants to put that out there because how inconvenient.
right.
You can't blame it on the Jews.
Exactly. No Jews, no news. It's like, this is the one thing. Now, by the way, somehow it'd be like, oh, the Jews went into, like, it's somehow someone would twist it. But in reality, even the people who blame the Jews for everything can't find the path on this one. So it's like, we're just not going to talk about it at all.
Yeah, yeah. It's
And the Muslims can just keep slaughtering Christians and no one says a word.
yeah. Well, I'd be careful on how I frame it. The Muslims slaughtering the Christians, like, sure, that's happening, but not all Muslims want to slaughter Christians. These extremist groups are the issue.
But this particular conflict is Muslim slaughtering Christians. I'm not saying all Muslims will slaughter Christians, but this one is Muslim slaughtering Christians, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of the conquering, that's how it was done. You slaughter, you force them to change religions or.
Who slaughtered your great grandparents?
Well, we didn't, I don't think they got
Your
slaughtered.
village.
But yeah.
Your village.
Well, mine, it was the Ottoman Turks.
Oh, what religion were they?
They probably were Muslim. I think they were. Yeah. And I know my history. I don't know why. Yeah, I think the Ottomans were Muslim, right? It didn't predate Islam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
My point is that, of course, I'm not saying that every Muslim I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is that this goes against the narrative that we've been being fed, that's
Right.
being fed to us for the last 3 years. And you'll never read anything about it in any mainstream news media, other podcasts, because it counters everything we're being told. It's the opposite.
Yeah. And I think people are just exhausted from hearing that. Like from 2001, from September 11th, they were just talking about Muslims this, Muslims that. Islamophobia was a huge thing. So I think people are just exhausted from hearing about it. And the news companies, the legacy media knows that, okay, like this is not enough clickbait. The Jews are clickbait. People always want to know what the Jews are up to now.
Yeah, I completely agree. Speaking of which, for next week, sir, I know we have to wrap it up, but for next week, can we talk about what happened in England with this Tommy Robinson rally? Did you see this?
Tommy Robinson rally?
Yeah, he got like attacked in England, I guess. I don't know all the details, but someone sent it to me and said, hey, you guys should talk about this on your podcast.
Yeah, let me send it in.
I'm starting to get listener requests. Yeah, shout out Natasha.
Yeah, shout out to Natasha. Thank you for all that you do.
Yes, thank you, Natasha. She never sleeps in. Not on podcast day.
On any day, actually, but specifically podcast day when everyone else is on.
Specifically.
Yeah. Too soon?
It's okay. I missed other important appointments that day too, so it's okay.
What else is important other than, just as important, but less important?
I missed my dentist appointment, which I think is pretty important.
It is.
Relative to the pod? No.
Can you imagine me
Teeth loss?
smiling and just like a tooth missing?
Oh my gosh, from one missed dentist appointment.
Okay.
Wait, what happened?
But did you floss?
Oh, you skipped flossing one night and your tooth fell out? Oh, man.
That was a lot of vodka cranberries. What else happened?
Don't forget to floss. Do we have time for our last topic today, or Shia, you want to jump?
No, I think I got to go to the airport. Why don't you guys stay on without me?
No, Shai, let's discuss it real quick.
Right.
This is your, you know what?
Okay, go.
I feel like this one's really important.
We need Shai's
go. I
rundown.
don't know what the topic is, so go.
Okay, it involves a wrongful conviction that was.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it really aligns with Firefly Advocates. So,
okay.
Chicago is now considering a $9 million settlement for Alberto Ochoa, a man who spent 17 years in prison for a murder he did not commit. So Ochoa was only 17 years old when he was arrested, and he spoke Spanish, but he says he was pressured into signing a confession written in English, even though he could not read or understand what he was signing. His case brings up a serious question that still matters today. If someone does not speak English, what protections should be in place before a confession can be used to take away years of their life? And 17 years is, taking away a day of someone's life is serious, but you miss so much in all of that time being locked up for something you didn't do.
Yeah.
So,
Mike, you take this one first, because I'm obviously very opinionated about this topic.
Yeah. I'll talk about. I come from a non-English, a primarily non-English speaking community, and especially in my generation when we came as refugees of the war. I know stories that have gotten my dad in trouble because he wasn't able to. If he got pulled over and the officer's asking questions, my dad is just putting together words in English, and they got him in trouble. We got pulled over a couple of weeks ago for making a wrong turn going to the Tigers game, and my dad was in the back seat, and the officer, my dad gets scared of law enforcement, but it wasn't a big deal. I know it was going to be a 5-minute thing. The officer comes out and he's like, "Hey, I'm letting you go. I'm going to give you a break." And my dad is in the back, like, "Please help me." And I'm like, "Dad, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm asking him to like let you go." I'm like, "No, he probably thinks I kidnapped you and you need help."
That is hilarious.
So that's I know this is a serious topic, but that's my experience of where non-English speakers can get themselves into problems. Um, but this is just terrible. We've talked about this so many times. When I go back and listen to our podcast, I remember when we talked about, or when Shia mentioned, you didn't just lose those years of your life. You lost events. You lost, seeing your child turn one. You lost having children. You lost a marriage. You whatever, you name it. These are so many things happen in 17 years. I can learn so many things that happened in this past week. Um, but it's a shame that was able to happen. And for the language to be Spanish is very concerning to me because that's recognized as a secondary official language in the United States. So this should not have happened. Tell me it was, someone who speaks, I don't know, Punjabi. Okay, I can see it, but this is just, how tragic that this happened to this individual because of miscommunication in Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be a little more forceful in my answer as usual.
Yeah, I knew it
I
was
think
coming.
that until the system punishes crooked officers and crooked prosecutors, this is going to continue to happen. However it happened that this man ended up with a confession language he didn't understand, there was someone in that room who knew he didn't speak English.
Yeah.
I guaranteed that person, and they knowingly put the wrong man in prison for 17, and they need to be punished. And until that happens, this is going to continue to happen. I don't think there's a number in the world that's right. I don't think there's a way to return 17 years of someone's life. They should be compensated double whatever they think they should give them. I mean, there's just no number. But ultimately, something needs to change. As someone who's so involved in this every single day, the extent of it's not negligence. It's not negligence. There's intent. There's actual intent to put people behind bars, throw away their lives because they don't have the resources to fight back. And it's convenient. We solved the crime. This guy's in prison. We're done. But that's not the answer. Of course, that's not to say all prosecutors. Of course, it's only a minority. I'm talking about a very, very small minority of both law enforcement prosecutors. The majority of them are really good people trying to do the right thing and get justice for families. But that small minority has a horrific impact on people's lives. And I believe that we really need a system that punishes those who knowingly put someone like this in prison.
100%. And the other piece of this that I always think about is, okay, so you wrongfully convicted this man. Who actually committed the crime, and did they ever face any punishment? And the answer is, I mean, unless they committed another crime that they got caught for, no.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
meanwhile, you have somebody who's free out there who did something horrible, and this man is suffering, and
You're right.
it's scary to think about, really.
You're right. We have that case there, the one you know about with the serial killer. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They put the wrong guy in prison. We know it's the wrong guy, and the other guy killed someone else.
Yeah. The other man is out there free. He could be the guy next to you at the gym or at the grocery store, and just, I don't know how he lives with himself, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for this to only have been 17 years ago, and there was no translator given to this man, like how do you let that happen?
On purpose.
Yeah, it's a shame, truly. Very passionate about this too. So
yes, this has become something that I really, full disclosure, like I didn't really know a lot about until we really started getting involved in the wrongful convictions and get to know the people. And it kind of circles back to where we started, where it's like, okay, the Lou Glacier, that old guy's line, the thinnest pancake has two sides.
that old guy. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
He must be
Shout
in
out
there.
Lou.
I heard a chuckle. Have him come into the camera view real quick before we end it.
Just so they could see
Come
what the
on,
old
old
guy looks
guy.
like. So the viewers can see what the old guy looks like. Come on, Luke.
No.
Is-
I think he dressed though.
Lou, get your
oh,
walker.
come on. Oh my
He said
God.
he said he doesn't have a tuxedo on today, so he can't come in.
Oh man.
Come
But no,
on.
seriously. But back to that, it's like the thinnest pancake. When you start meeting the people and learning their lives and putting a face to it and connecting it, it's not just a statistic. It's not just another black guy who, or in this case, Hispanic guy where the key was thrown away. You learn their story. You look at the other side of the pancake, and all of a sudden your views change. And it's kind of circling back where we started today to wrap up on the Ro Khanna thing. Listen to the other side of the story. Maybe your opinion stays the same, but I'm willing to bet you 99% of the time when you hear the other side of that thin pancake, your perspective changes dramatically.
Yeah.
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 As human beings, we have to be more open to dialogue from both sides.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
Just hear different perspectives before you form your opinions. That's my advice.
Yep. And your words, your words are power, and power without accountability destroys trust. So, we already live in an imperfect world. So let's try to do our best to, make it better than what it was set up to be for us.
Inshallah.
Baruch Hashem.
Like, I might quote you one day. That was great. That was beautiful.
Fastball down the middle for you there, buddy.
I'm just trying to get Shia to miss his flight so we can hang out.
Clearly.
I'll see you in an hour. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Take care, guys.
Bye.